What's up, you freaky folks? My name is Nick, and welcome to my channel, where I cover all things horror, whatever you're watching, I'm making videos about. And every month I take a look at all of our favorite streaming services to find lists of recommendations for you guys. And normally it's my opportunity to talk about non-horror stuff that I love, but you know Tubi is just a treasure trove of horror goodies. And yes, I have all of your winter horror favorites covered. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure you do so. That way you stay up to date with what to watch and where to watch it. Number 10 is Silent Night, the remake of the 80s slasher classic Silent Night, Deadly Night. In it, a killer dressed as Santa Claus terrorizes a small town, punishing the naughty. This is a basic Christmas slasher, and it's honestly quite awful, but I'm still recommending it. Why? Well, I remember dragging a friend to go see this movie when it played in theaters for like, I don't know, all of 5 minutes. I mean, there were like 4 of us total in this theater. And still to this day, I get shit for making her see the Santa movie. So I'm spreading the misery around. Just in case you're looking for some extra holiday horror, maybe you'll want to check out Silent Night.
Got something for me?
Number 9 is Better Watch Out. Sticking with the holiday horrors, Better Watch Out is a dark comedy in which a babysitter looks after a preteen boy and his bestie sometime around Christmas. When strange events begin to occur, the trio believes they're under attack from a home invader. I'm not going to spoil this for anyone who hasn't seen it, but I have to be honest, I don't like this movie. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. But I know a lot of you guys do. Even though this concept and the villain and pretty much the entire execution, it just doesn't work for me. I can understand why some people would have some fun with this, but in case you haven't seen it and you're trying to check off all the Christmas horror movies, Better Watch Out might be the movie for you.
Oh my God. Get away from the window. There's someone there.
Number 8 is The Iceman. It's my one non-horror movie recommendation for this month, but it's a crime thriller you don't want to miss. This is based on the true story of mob murderer Richard Kuklinski, who murdered dozens of people while upholding his image as a family man for decades. This one is so interesting to me because I'm a fan of film as well as true crime, and hitmen are just a different kind of fascinating, especially with a case like this where you have a man who treated murder like a job while raising a family. It's a special layer of disturbing. Chris Evans co-stars in this one in his ugliest role of all time, and still I'd probably tap it. So that's how you know The Iceman is worth a watch. I mean, the movie is good too, I'm just saying.
All right, kids, that's it. Go on home. We're closed. You got a second?
So is it my lucky day or my last?
Number 7 is The Crazies, a remake of a George A. Romero movie from the 70s. It's about a toxin that spreads through a small town, turning the residents into crazies. The local sheriff, along with a ragtag group of survivors, must try to avoid the military while escaping before they become crazies themselves. This movie feels all too relevant today. The idea of your neighbors turning on you is pretty damn scary and realistic. It does take a minute to get going, but once it gets there, this movie borders on action horror with a brisk pace and a solid body count. And I don't really hear a whole ton of people talking about this one, so let me know what you think about The Crazies in the comments.
Sir.
Whoa. What the hell are you doing?
Rory?
Number 6 is Day of the Dead. Speaking of George A. Romero, this is the 3rd installment in his original zombie trilogy. Night and dawn have bled into day, and now we see the lasting effects of the zombie apocalypse. While some survivors try to understand The Walking Dead, others seem just as hellbent on world destruction as the monsters. I'll admit this is my least favorite of the trilogy, which I don't really think is a very unpopular opinion. I just don't really care for the ideas this one is trying to explore, and it ultimately kind of feels like a rehash of the same themes that we saw in the previous 2 films, but I just really enjoy George A. Romero's work and find it very entertaining. So if you're not in the mood for The Crazies and you're looking for a more traditional zombie movie, Day of the Dead is a must-watch.
You want to teach them tricks?
They have to be rewarded, Captain. Why else will they do what we want them to do?
I don't want him to do anything but trouble!
Number 5 is Let Me In. This English language remake of the Swedish horror classic Let the Right One In follows a bullied boy who befriends a mysterious girl living in his apartment building. As their friendship grows, secrets are revealed that lead to an explosive conclusion. I know I don't have to explain this one to you guys, but I think there are a lot of people who either dislike or dismiss this one simply because they love the original so much, and I get that, but I think there's room for us to enjoy both. And if you're completely unwilling to watch a movie with subtitles, Let Me In exists specifically for you. But if you're in the mood for more winter horror, don't worry, there's more to come.
I found another body a few days ago. Victim completely drained of blood. Please don't see that boy again.
Number 4 is American Mary. This character study horror drama is about a medical student named Mary, played by fan favorite Catherine Isabel. Dealing with all kinds of student loan debt I'm sure we're all too familiar with, Mary begins searching for work and finds herself involved in underground surgeries, specifically catering to those looking for body modification procedures. Mary uses her newfound career path to further her professional goals, which all sounds fine and dandy until things descend into gory madness. You guys, this movie is wild and I love it. I think it is the best thing the Saska sisters have done so far. It certainly won't be for everyone because it deals with some twisted shit, but it's certainly unique. So if you're looking for something different, put American Mary at the top of your watch list.
You can put the bag down, Dr. Mason. I'm just a desperate woman looking for help.
What exactly does she want me to do?
Number 3 is The Stepfather. This horror thriller is about a man in search of the perfect family. After murdering his own clan, he leeches onto a single mother whose teenage daughter suspects there is something very wrong with her new stepfather. I've certainly mentioned this before because I love this movie. I think it is so much better than most people give it credit for. It is so creepy and suspenseful, but also a well-structured, character-driven thriller. It's the time of year for family-based horror films, so if you haven't already given it a shot, I suggest you do. It's short and sweet and sure to be a holiday treat. Oh my god, it's like I'm in the holiday spirit.
Morrison isn't his real name.
What is it?
God knows, we don't. His personal history was falsified and his prints were untraceable. It was possible Morrison had done it before.
Number 2 is Frozen. This survival thriller is about a trio of friends who are skiing when they wind up trapped on the lift at the end of the day. Stranded midair, the friends are forced to make difficult decisions as they try to survive the harsh conditions. I love a simple, contained thriller like this, and while it would probably never happen in real life, this is a horrific take on an implausible nightmare. The tension in this movie is off the charts, so if you're looking to bite all your fingernails off, just turn on Frozen. Number 1 is Black Christmas. Of course it is, because Black Christmas is the best Christmas horror film in my opinion. In this formative slasher film, a group of sorority sisters are tormented by disturbingly crude phone calls. Unbeknownst to them, a mysterious murderer has already crept into the attic of their home and begins picking them off one by one. The best thing about Black Christmas is that it sounds like the most typical slasher film ever. A bunch of sorority sisters being killed by some crazy guy. You think you've seen it a million times, but sometimes the original does it best, and I think this one is worth all the hype because I think it totally holds up almost 50 years after it came out. I love how this movie starts out quite funny and charming, almost like a comedy, as it lures you in and gets you invested in these characters as we understand their dilemma, and as it progresses, it descends into a total nightmare that will leave you with chills by the time the credits roll. I love Black Christmas, and it's kind of my favorite horror film of all time. It's tied with Friday the 13th because I'm crazy and love them equally, but Black Christmas is the obvious better movie. And it's available basically everywhere. You can watch it on Shudder, you can watch it on Peacock, you can even watch it right here on YouTube. So you have no excuse. If you have not seen Black Christmas, skip the remakes, they're all garbage. The classic is the best.
If this movie doesn't make your skin crawl, it's on too tight.
And now it's time for my bad movie recommendation of the month, because even if some of my previous suggestions were quite awful, guess what? It only gets worse, because Tubi is like the holy grail of best worst movies. Ghost Keeper is about three friends on a snowmobiling trip for New Year's Eve when they find themselves stranded near an abandoned lodge. Upon further inspection, the group learns they aren't as alone as they thought. This is definitely not a slasher, even though it totally sounds like one. I won't spoil it for anyone who does want to give this a watch, but I mean, I'm sure no one will. It's really bad. It's somehow worse than Silent Night, but you know what? It's a little bit of extra holiday horror to keep you entertained this month. That is my list of the best movies to watch on Tubi in the month of December. Thank you so much for watching this video, you guys. I really appreciate it as always. Let me know what your favorites are in the comments, because that's always so fun to discuss. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Happy holidays, everyone. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, where you can send me all of your requests. Like this video if you want to see more what to watch videos here on the channel. And if you're interested in subscribing, hit that damn button. That's what it's there for. And I'd also recommend that you hit the bell and turn on your notifications. That way you don't miss any creepy content. That's it for this video, but I won't stop you from watching another.